All right, man. Friday, December 11th, 2020. I finally got it working.
Good.
Yeah, I'm looking out beyond the backyard right now.
Oh yeah, I can see the reflection on your sunglasses.
So so people will get a view. It'll be a little priority there. Um, yeah, man. So now I've got the attention. Problem with this technology is that it like totally like draws away your attention, and then you just like try to multitask, but you can't multitask, and then there's not enough electrical capacity, mental capacity, storage capacity. The brain can't keep up fast enough. Where it's like you just kind of get doled out. So I feel like that's kind of what was going on with me there. Um, but yeah, man. So how are things going down there?
I'm good, man. I'm in I'm close to home. I'm in Jersey, and I'm by Palisades Park, looking over the city, over the bluff. It's a nice bluff here, about like 1,200 feet up over the Hudson River, so you get a nice view of northern Manhattan, southern Bronx. You can see Yonkers. You can see all the way down. You can see the bridge. And I'm just here in the car. I just got out of physical therapy, so that's why I'm here. I haven't gotten home yet, and I don't want to keep postponing recording. So, think, fuck it, just record in the car.
Mhm. Well, that's one of the things about technology that's amazing is that we can finally do these things.
You do things anywhere, right?
Yeah, people are
How
forced
about
to
you?
do it now, but it's always I guess it's always kind of been here. But the physical exercise is something that obviously is important. It's ironic that we're going through a health virus, yet people are the most unhealthy that they've ever been, at least in certain areas. So,
Yeah, a lot of people are. Some people are actually, some people actually have taken advantage and became healthier because they're really into, the cycling at home. You have, what is it called,
Peloton.
the Peloton. Yeah, I was thinking about getting the Peloton, but then the doctor told me no because of the surgery and everything, so I can't use it until I get better. But that's a great thing for many people because sure, you're not inside of a room, gym doing, but virtually you have that. It's funny, right? Because you've seen that episode of Black Mirror that they're all cycling, they get paid.
Yeah. So, actually, no, I haven't seen the cycle one. I saw the one
Oh
where
man, you haven't
I've
seen
seen the
that
one
one?
where they record the vision, like what the person actually sees, and you can rewind it. Tell me
Oh no,
about this one though.
you have to watch this one, bro.
It's like the Soul Cycle or the Peloton of like the before it was Peloton.
Bro, it's pretty much it's in some type of world. I don't know what world it is in. All I know is that everybody lives in some type of. I feel like from what I saw, they have like these small shots of it, and it looks like they live in like a bunker world inside of a mountain, and they have have a floor where people cycle, and they're cycling, they're creating energy, and so that energy I think helps. I don't know where to use that energy. I guess to power the whole place.
Hmm.
You get paid, and then with that digital currency you have, then you could use for purchasing. But you live in this room, and oh man, you gotta watch it. It's weird. It's a weird thing, and it's funny because I think we're going into that. Not exactly like it, but we have elements of it, and it's creepy.
Well, there is this like we are entering this period. Well, I mean, we know that the media and information. It is kind of ironic that Hollywood has kind of had its kind of stance as being the lead on a lot of stuff. The Simpsons episodes, aliens, or something. That's another thing that they've been bringing up lately. Uh, all of this stuff in films and what that does to the human psyche. Uh, is it kind of prepares the person, right?
Yeah, this whole alien thing is just weird because now governments are like leaking, like people in the Pentagon, and they're saying stuff, and they're trying to get in the media to like say these things, and I'm like, why are you guys doing that the way they're doing it? It's like they're saying things that were classified, and they're not. It's just the way they're going about it, to me, is very fishy. I don't trust them. I have my own opinions about what people think of like extraterrestrial, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Or, I think that it's something very different than what the mainstream and Hollywood creates it to be. But I think that there is something. I just don't believe it is what they're saying. Now, the ex-Israeli space, I don't know what he is, a director or
I think
whatever
he's the
he was.
equivalent of NASA.
Yeah, he's the ex-head of the Israeli space department, said that the
Up,
governments are in direct communication with aliens or whatever, and that we're in a test. And why would he say that? And there's a person, why would he say that? And then there's no debate about it neither. There's no debate. He says it. They push it out in the news. There's no
So,
discussion about it. To me, I feel like is they're trying to brainwash us.
and what Mike is like, Mike, I'm going to read the article too. What you're referencing is this is a news article from NBC News. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. A galactic
Oh, that's what that
federation,
one says.
yeah,
That's fun.
a galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are. So this was that was one from the this Israeli like NASA lead. But the CIA did about a year ago or so put out those videos from the fighter pilots about the UFO sighting, and they were like openly kind of writing about these in the new articles in the newspapers. U.S. government admitting to UFOs, uh, and 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 then that was kind of the other time that we had seen it. So the second time that it came up, I thought it was very interesting. Of course, we know one of the things that is coming up, or what we've learned about. At least I didn't know about. We were talking about cycles for so long, cycles in the economy, cycles to everything in life. But we're entering on December 21st, what's being talked about of 2020 as the ending a 2,000-year cycle. And there's going to be an alignment of the planets. And that is just, it's ironic it ties into 2020 so much too. So
Yeah, we
whether or
haven't
not
had
that
this.
means anything.
Yeah, we haven't had this alignment of the planets since there was that other event that happened in the late 1800s. I forgot the name of that. It's something effect or something event. That and the way they describe it was that there was a lot of electromagnetic like pulses. So electricity was very minimum at that time, but they still had, and they said they had a lot of power outings, and especially with the telegraph and all of that. That's what I read.
So this was the Carrington event. It was
There you go, the Carrington event.
a powerful geomagnetic storm on September 1st and 2nd of 1859 during a solar cycle.
Exactly, and they're saying that this is going to be way more powerful than that one. And we have Saturn and Jupiter that will be zero point 0.1 degree away from each other. That's incredible. In history that we know of, we've never seen that. So it's for me, and they haven't really discussed this a lot. I feel like there's going to be an event for that time period. It's going to be strong. It's a lot of energy. And you know what? And they don't want to talk about it. I don't know why. But things like that is what actually, number one, events like that changes our environment. That's one. That's just, you can't deny that. You can't deny that will change our environment. It will heat up the globe tremendously because of the energy that'll be transmitted all the way to the North Pole. It also, the electromagnetic effects, that's gonna, affect our modern systems, technology. Everything has to do with technology, even our money, hospitals, everything is in this power grid. That could be affected. Weather systems, we could have, we can even have earthquakes. There's a lot that could happen. There's a lot that people do not understand that could happen that week of the winter solstice, and I'm preparing for it.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. One of the things that we saw this week as well that's interesting is that there was uh, the northern lights were reaching as far down south as Connecticut and
Mm-hmm.
Jersey. And what that means and what's going on is that there was a geomagnetic storm. So that's why we were able to see it so far down, is because there was rays coming off the sun that was a geomagnetic storm, and then the radiation came further down the planet. So it's just ironic, and well, it's not ironic. It's just that's the facts. That's something that is taking place right now. So
Yeah, that's
it
the fact that.
could be heating up. But is that a good or bad thing? We don't know. The spiritual events that come out of it, like, I mean, we take a spiritual belief to it. Like, we talked about like these cycles ending, and one thing with the economy is that it was coming to the end of the debt cycle and doing what it does historically in cycles, transitioning to a new currency, transitioning to a new economy, but also with like the shift of consciousness and stuff. Like we talked about the idea of uh, uh, human consciousness, maybe with AI and what's next. And this event could be like the Great Reset of some sort.
Yeah, well, that's why I think they keep pushing the whole thing of a great reset. Look, we have, you know, uh, the yuga cycles supposed to end and begin a new one, right? The golden age and all of that, the iron age. That's we're supposed to be going into a new age. If you look at astronomy or astrology, we're going into one age. What is it? We're going from Pisces to Aquarius.
Yes. So that's the 2,000 year cycle. Like for people that are trying to get it too, it's these are uh, both astronomy and astrology combined, and it's just aligning patterns of the solar system with uh, uh, time periods that people are around and stuff, and then what happened during them. And we're like ending this 2,000 year cycle, which is like what you're talking about, the shift of into Aquarius, right? I think
Yeah, and between
Pisces into Aquarius.
all of these
Yeah.
ideologies and religions and
Mm-hmm.
everything, they all align.
Yeah.
Time is aligning. It's all aligning. It's you could well, I don't believe in astrology or whatever. Well, all right, that's fine. You don't have to believe it, but if you actually understand the study of it and the alignments of the stars and whatnot, and it actually is aligning exactly on point. Even J.P. Morgan says astrology is it's the study. It's astrology is not used
Mm-hmm.
by millionaires. It's used by billionaires
Yeah.
because it's a tell all. It tells you all
Yeah.
by
But
because of the alignments. There's something there, man.
what I think is most interesting is it's going to be one of the first times the Star of Bethlehem will be back, theoretically at least.
Yeah.
So like from a spiritual level, like yo, Kaiser's dubbed it. He thinks Satoshi's the second coming of Christ. He thinks Bitcoin was Jesus Christ in a new form. And it's gonna be like, I know that's far out there, but we don't but like it's going to be like during, if you're a religious person, especially, which people are, in a lot of this. I guess I didn't realize how many people knew about this. I guess I was late to the game to figure out finally the astronomy side to it. But like, these cycles do come about. Human civilization, right? It started at, well, at least recorded from Jesus Christ, and then it was
The age of
uh,
Pisces is the age of
after
Jesus, and
Christ,
Jesus is the
right?
fish, right?
And then BC, EC, yep, AC, BC. So I mean, with what I'm kind of doing is I'm just gonna keep meditating and breathing. I mean, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
looking
I
up.
think
Maybe
that's
we'll do
that's
it for
gonna be
like,
a good week for meditation, for good energy. There's gonna be a lot of energy being transferred from the sun through the planets until us. So, in my opinion, or in my spiritual mindset, I want to be prepared that week to make sure that that energy that's flowing could be converted into good energy, and I could absorb good energy and let out good energy with it, because energy is everything. Everything is energy. All right. Now it's the way that you filter it through your spirit, your being, in and out. You know, I this year and last year has been tough for myself, channeling good energies and all. But there's been a time that that all I wanted to do was transfer good energies. I learned a lot about spiritualism, you know, Hinduism, Buddhism, all these types of isms to me have truth behind it. Now, I'm not a fully religious person from what the terrestrial people or think. I don't think that, the Catholic religion or the Jewish religion, anything like that. I don't believe in religion per se. I believe in the studies of it to become a better person. And I think there's a lot of truth behind all of them. I just think that they're all interpreted by groups of people and tribes that are from certain locations of the world,
Mm-hmm.
which has a lot of nature versus nurture influences upon those religions, which is why it's actually translated in the form that it is because of their environment. And I understand that, and that understanding allows me to actually empathize with what they have as a belief and take little bits of all of that into something else, because the world is in Africa. The world is in America. The world is in China. The world is full of all types of countries with all types of beliefs and everything. And everybody has a truth. You have to take all those truths to make that whole idea. And I think spiritualism is the same. Is all, we are searching. What is this that we're in? We're in this land, and we're all trying to find truth. We're all trying to better ourselves, and it's really hard to actually find those answers. But I think just the adventure of looking for those answers in itself is great. And I think, you and I, Joe, we talk a lot about this. I think, we're going into a new world. Like it or not, there's a lot of things that many people won't like about it. But if we look at the positives, there's no way of stopping anything of this new world. We have a planetary alignment that's one of the biggest in our recorded history. Says a lot. 2020 vision, there's a reason why they say 2020 vision. We're going to see more than we've ever seen, and it's going to change us. It's going to evolve us. It's going to hit our core. It's going to open our third eye. It's going to stimulate our genes, because we come from somewhere. Us humans come from somewhere. We just don't know. And that's the first step, is trying to learn where we're from, what we are, so that we could become better as a group, as an individual. And that's my new mission, per my being here and on going forward, is to try to figure that out. You know, I think everyone should look into that, into themselves going forward. 2020 is a tough year, and they say that when there's a changeover from one age to a new age, right? We had the Renaissance. Transferring over into the Renaissance was one of the toughest things in human history. Joe, very well, because we've talked about it. The similarities of going into a Renaissance. It looks like we're going into that. So
I feel like our movie or my movie. No, it's definitely our movie. Is the Mel Gibson Patriot, where he's like he's trying to stay out of it. It's coming though, and he's already been in it, and he's got the trunk, and then it's like once you got to flick that switch, and unfortunately, life goes back to that kind of world. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe nonviolent, but maybe spiritual transformation, maybe something. But just being right before it happens, though, kind of that moment, watching it leading up and thinking about the possibilities and the outcomes, and like yeah, that's kind of the movie that I foresee, and you know, I definitely we explore like what it's going to be like, but I guess we ultimately won't really know until it happens. And the only thing that I've been able to keep coming back to is that the idea of trying to be with yourself as much as you can, right? And then love ultimately. Not to get all sappy dappy on it, but like we got to do what you got to do, got to do it. But like this transformation of some sort, whether it's consciousness switching over, or spirituality, or hard times, or better times, who knows, right? But I think that if people have the ability to uh, disconnect, look within, the breathing and the meditation works, right? The breathing exercise is the meditation. Seeking the information, and ultimately just looking after each other.
Yeah.
The hive
Seeking
mind. The
truth.
hive
Seeking
mind is
truth.
Yeah. The hive mind is unique because we talked about that I think before this too. The idea of people kind of coming back to this more individualized or hive mind kind of thing, and maybe ultimately that's what it is. We talk about the Renaissance being the break, like at least with Bitcoin, and that crypto talk is like the breakdown of like central banking and government, and that would mean that like society would go back to more of a uh, state-run whatever's like that's the area. That's Connecticut's got its own thing, New Hampshire's got its own thing, or there's new tribes of people that pop up, right? Like, but like, how will people think differently?
Yeah, we don't know. It could be many different things. It's all I know is that there's a change coming. There's a change is coming. It's gonna be interesting to see these changes. You know, I think I know how the changes are gonna be, but I would prefer more of what your belief is than what my belief is. I would prefer more of an individualistic, not individualistic per se, but more of a tribal, you know, broken up type of system where, like states do have its own autonomy. There is that, freedom with currencies and more freedom for the whole world, if that's what they want, instead of having a huge collective that's forced upon everyone. But I feel like it's going to be more of the collective. But we don't know. Let's see what happens. All I know is that we have to keep our ears to the ground because that's the only way we'll know. We'll be a couple steps ahead for our own sake. And if we don't do that, we could get lost in the sauce. Because there's a lot, when there's changes, it's not the strong that survive, it's the one that are able to adapt. If you're not able to adapt to changes, you won't survive. And that's just the way it is, man. So,
Well,
think I leave it at that.
yeah, I agree, dude. No, I do. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, to recap, we're ending these cycles. The 21st to the 25th is going to be. I mean, and even just if nothing happens, you look up in the sky and you're going to see what theoretically was the Star of Bethlehem, like what the Bible says is when Jesus, right, when Jesus rose again, or no, it was before as he was being born,
Yeah,
right?
well, he was born,
Okay, so like, and
and
that was
that's
the
what led.
start,
That's what
and that
led
was the
the
start of the
born the
last
three
2,000.
kings.
Yeah, that was the start of the last 2,000 year cycle, right? And that's what led the whole growth of it. So, this is a very important event, and then like whatever we talked about at the end there. Take care, keep on
Yeah,
following.
so yeah. Stay alert for the 21st to the first. Stay very alert with what's going on. Look up at the sky. Take advantage of the winter solstice. See what's going on. Look, meditate, be with your loved ones. Try to keep positive, and
We'll be
let us
recording.
know. Let us know what happens that week. Let us know what you see. Let us know if we're just crazy. If what we're talking is mumbo jumbo, and that that's not going to happen. Debate with us because let's see what's going to happen on the 21st. Maybe we're crazy. Nothing's going to happen. Maybe it does. And then if it's true, then you'll know. You'll have the answers yourself.
We'll be here either way, spiritually, y'all. Peace.
Peace.